Hello, and in today's video we are doing Premier League predictions for match week number 32 of the 2023 to 24 season. That's right, we're back with score predictions on this channel, and we're going to look back at how I've got on in the last couple of weeks. Haven't put out any videos, but we're back for more this week. So, looking back at game week 30 and game week 31. So I went for a few interesting predictions. Said Newcastle to beat West Ham 2-1. It was 4-3, so 5 points for the correct goal difference there. We also said 2-0 Bournemouth against Everton. It was 2-1, so 3 points there. I backed Chelsea for the win against Burnley, and it was a 2-2 draw, so no points. I said 1-1 Forest against Palace, so got that bang on the money, 7-pointer. Lovely stuff. I said 2-0 Fulham against Sheffield United, and that was 2-2, so fair play. I think it might have actually been 3-3. I can't even remember now. But it was a draw. Spurs Luton, I said a 3-0 Tottenham, and it was in fact a Tottenham 2-1. We also had Villa Wolves, that was a juicy Villa win by 2-0. I said 3-1, so correct goal difference there. We also went for a 2-2 draw, Brentford Man United. It was of course 1-1 in that one. Mason Mount coming back with a goal and a late equaliser from Aya. Then we had Liverpool-Brighton. I went for a 3-1, and that was 3 points there. And then finally, Man City-Arsenal. I went for a 1-1 draw. It was 0-0. Bit of a disappointing game, but we get the 5 points. We take that. Pretty solid return, to be fair. I can't really complain with that. I think at the end of the day, it's a pretty decent score. And we ended up finishing on a pretty solid total, I think, of about 39 points. So moving on to match week 31, I went for a 2-0 win for Newcastle against Everton, and that wasn't right. It was 1-1, so no points there. We also went for a 3-1 Arsenal against Luton. It was 2-0, so 5 points for the correct goal difference. 2-0 Spurs against West Ham. Again, that was wrong. 1-1 draw. Quite a lot of 1-1 draws at the moment. 2-1 Bournemouth against Palace. Got the correct goal difference there because it was 1-0 for Bournemouth with a goal from Kluivert, and yeah, it was 5 points there for us. Man City Villa, we went for a 2-1. It was 4-1, so 3 points there for us. Foden hat-trick. Brentford Brighton, we went for a 3-0 Brentford. It was 0-0 in the end. Not the best of games, so no points for me there. We also went for Liverpool 2, Sheffield United 0, and it was Liverpool 3, Sheffield United 1. So yeah, Liverpool got the job done, but 5 points for the correct goal difference. We also said Chelsea 2, Manchester United 3. And, you know, if you looked at what the score was in the 107th minute, you'd have seen that that was a great prediction. But then Chelsea score on 110 minutes and then score again on 111. It was absolutely bonkers. 4-3 Chelsea, Cole Palmer hat-trick, what a game. And yeah, unfortunately 0 points there for me. I also said 2-1 Fulham against Nottingham Forest. No points there because Forest got a 3-1 victory. And then Burnley against Wolves, I backed to 1-0 Wolves, and it was 1-1. So no points there. So we end the week on 18 points. Not great from game week 31, but hopefully we can bounce back in game week 32. So we kick off game week 32 with the early fixture at Selhurst Park between Crystal Palace and Manchester City. In the reverse fixture, Man City raced into a 2-0 lead with goals from Rico Lewis and Jack Grealish. But Palace, they always seem to be City's hoodoo team, and they raced back into getting a draw because goals from Jean-Philippe Mateta and Michael Elise got the Eagles the point. Now, this one's at Crystal Palace, so they might fancy their chances even more, but with the way Man City are going, really putting the pressure on at the top of the table with Liverpool. You know, it's 67, 68, 70. Very, very tight at the moment. And, you know, Arsenal got the upper hand with goal difference, but City are just absolutely unbelievable at this stage of the season. So, yeah, it's going to be a tough test for this Palace side. And I think City will win the game, but I wouldn't be surprised to see Palace notch a goal or two. So I'll say Crystal Palace 1, Man City 2. Goal scorer for Palace, Jean-Philippe Mateta. Then Man City goal scorers, we will say, firstly, a goal from Erling Haaland. Second City goal I'm going to go for is Mr. Yes, in midfield, it is Rodri. Now, it's Manchester United against Liverpool, the big game on Sunday, and it's live on Sky Sports. Now, this was interesting. 0-0 draw in the reverse fixture, but do I think that's going to happen again? No, I'd be very surprised if it did. So I'm saying a hefty Liverpool win. They want to get vengeance for their FA Cup defeat in this fixture. I think Liverpool win this 4-2 with 2 from Mohamed Salah, 2 from Liverpool's Luis Diaz, and then the goal scorers for Manchester United I think will be Marcus Rashford and Alejandro Garnacho. Then it's Tottenham versus Nottingham Forest, the Sunday kickoff at the evening, and it's again on Sky Sports. Now this one, I think Spurs will be fairly comfortable winners because, you know, they're scoring goals, Forest are conceding goals, and, you know, they're fighting for their lives, Forest. But, you know, in the reverse fixture, it was a 2-0 Spurs win, a nervy Spurs win because it looked like Forest were going to score, but they held on with the clean sheet, with Richarlison getting a goal and Kulusevski as well. So I think Spurs will get the job done here. 3-1, 1 from Son Heung-min. For Forest, the goal scorer, I think will be Mr. Chris Wood. He's in great form. And Spurs goal scorers will say, firstly, it's going to be that man Kulusevski. And then the third Spurs goal scorer, we're going to go for, in form, Brennan Johnson. Okay, next up, we've got Sheffield United, Chelsea. And this is at Bramall Lane. Now, the reverse fixture was a comfortable 2-0 Chelsea win with goals from Cole Palmer, who scored a hat-trick in midweek, and Raheem Sterling. Now, I think Chelsea will just get the job done again here. It will be a fairly routine victory, but I'll say Sheffield United 1, Chelsea 4, and goal scorers here I think will be 3 from Cole Palmer. Yes, another hat-trick for the Chelsea young gun. Then the goal for Sheffield United will come from Mr. McBurney, and then the final goal for Chelsea will be, at the back, a towering header from Disasi. Now, it's Aston Villa v Brentford. Interesting one, this one at Villa Park. Ollie Watkins up against his old side, but will he be fit to play? Probably will. Brentford, on the other hand, they got their important result, at least a clean sheet against Brighton. It's another point towards safety, but Brentford probably should be okay with the kind of quality of the teams that are down there. You'd think that Brentford should be okay, but yeah, Brentford is not an easy place to go, Villa Park, so they will be kind of hoping to not lose this one too heavily. But I'll say a tight win for Villa, 2-1 Aston Villa, because, you know, I think that was the score in the reverse game at the Brentford GTEX Community Stadium, because Ollie Watkins scored and celebrated in the net, much to the annoyance of one of Brentford's fans. We also saw a goal for, I believe it was Lewis Potter, if I'm right in thinking. Might have been Roerslev, but I think it was Lewis Potter. But also there was a important goal for Aston Villa from Alex Moreno. But I think, yeah, Brentford will be losing this one yet again. Now, we've got Fulham Newcastle. I'm going for a 2-2 draw. It was a really interesting kind of game recently in the FA Cup. Newcastle got the spoils there. And I think in the reverse fixture, you know, Newcastle just got the job done. 3-0, I believe, and Lewis Miley on the score sheet. So I think that Newcastle will actually trip up here, because Fulham recently, despite their loss at Nottingham Forest, they've been in good form, they've been scoring goals, and a main part of that has been Rodrigo Muniz' contributions. So I'll say Fulham 2, Newcastle 2, and that should be a spicy one. Luton Bournemouth is up next. I'm going to go for a 2-0 Bournemouth. I think this is going to be a win for the Cherries. They beat them 4-3 in the reverse fixture with an amazing comeback from 3-0 down. I mean, it's absolutely unbelievable. But yeah, Luton absolutely bottled it in the reverse game at Vitality Stadium. And I think Spurs, you know, their kind of recent game against Luton just shows, you know, even from a winning position, Luton are struggling to keep hold of leads. And I think this is where Bournemouth will get the job done and win it 2-0 with goals from Solanke and Zabarnyi. Then it's Brighton v Arsenal. I think Arsenal will get the job done here as well, because they're in a title race. They need to win. And, you know, you remember this fixture at the Emirates last season was one of the games that derailed their title charge. But this time I think Arsenal was stronger. They've learnt from that experience. And in the reverse fixture, they got a 2-0 win with goals from Kai Havertz and a cheeky little goal at the end as well. At the end of the day, they're scoring goals at the moment, this Arsenal side, and it was a really, really important win last time out for Arsenal against Luton. So I think it's going to be 3-0 Arsenal. Saka, will he be fit? I think he will, and I think he will get on the score sheet. Everton-Burnley, huge game at the bottom of the table. It's an absolute crunch fixture. Sean Dyche's old side. I think Everton will get the win, though, because they've got their home support. Burnley are just dreadful defensively this season. So I'm going to say 2-1 Everton. Calvert-Lewin gets on the score sheet. And then it's Wolves-West Ham. I think this will be a 1-1 draw. I think it will be even Stevens at Molineux between those two sides. So those are our predictions for Matchweek 32. Get yours in the comments as soon as you can down below. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye, everyone.